Hey guys, this is Krawll from the Krawll's Workshop Gaming channel. Today I'm once again collaborating with Flashbulb Games to bring you this beginner-friendly tutorial on how to build a mech in Trailmakers. Now, there's several different ways to build mechs and you can go really deep into it, but my goal with this tutorial is not to cover absolutely everything, but rather to give you guys a solid base to help you create your first mechs regardless of your skill level in Trailmakers. The most difficult part of building a mech is to set up the walk cycle. In fact, many people choose to not even bother with it and simply make it move using thrusters. So in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you guys how to create the most simple walk cycle in its most basic format. Then from there, we'll use that same method to create the mech that you see here behind me. It looks good, doesn't it? Now keep in mind that in this tutorial I'm trying to keep things basic and simple because I'm assuming that many of the people watching this tutorial are either new to the game or new to building mechs. So the walk cycle we're going to create aims to be easy to set up, but this comes at a cost, and the cost is that the walk animation might not be the smoothest. However, once you've used this method to build your first mech, you'll have a much better understanding of how it works, and you'll have everything you need to come up with your own design and tune it to do exactly what you want. Now, with that out of the way, let's get started. All right, first things first, we're gonna build just a small device, like a platform type thing that we're gonna use to set up a very basic walk cycle. All right, now we're gonna use servos and like that, and then we're gonna give it legs. There you go, it's got legs. So now what we want to do is we want to pretend that these are legs and we want to make them alternate. So I'm gonna set this up. We're gonna remove these. We don't want these. I think we're good. Actually, one might be a little bit too fast. Let's go 0.3. That's the speed I like to use for my walk cycles. So let's go 0.3 speed. Okay. So now what we need to look at here is the direction of the arrows. This one is obviously, if I leave the speed as a positive value, is going to go towards the green. If I set this to negative, it's going to go towards the red. So this means this is going to rotate that way first. So what I want for the other one is I want it to rotate the other way. So we'll look at here, and now it's going to rotate forward. This one is going to rotate backwards. So basically, because they're already opposite from each other, then the values are already perfect. I leave this in the positive. I'm going to go 0.3, and it's going to go that way. Now all that's... Oh, hang on. I forgot to remove these here. All that's left to set up now is the logic. So we're going to use... I personally like to use AND gates for this, but you can also use OR gates for this, which is right here. And you can also use XOR gates for this, which is right here. So any of these three you can use, because you're only going to use the gate as a trigger. So you're going to... Hang on. I'm going to set this to W because I want it to start walking when I press W. When I press W, I activate this, and then this is going to activate this. But now we need two. We have two gates. Each one is going to represent one motion. Let's say this is the first step right here. Then that one is going to make this one go that way, this one go that way. And then that one is going to be the other step. So all it needs to do is the opposite of that first one. So this one here, I'm going to give it an output of 1. All this means, the output of 1, is that it's going to give 100% of the speed that I asked it to give here. If I was to reduce this to like 0.5, then that it would give the half of this. Basically, I'm leaving this at 100% because I want it to be 100% of 0.3 speed. And then here I want to, so like, let's say this is my first step. This is going to be the first one to activate. So this one does not have a delay because I want this to activate right away as soon as I press the W key. So I'm going to set a duration of 1 and a pause of 1. All that means is this is going to activate these two for 1 second, one in one direction, the other one in the other direction. and then it's going to pause for 1 second. Now, during that pause, this one is going to activate. So this one has to start with a delay because this one waits for its turn. Then it's going to have the same duration and the same pause. So now this one activates immediately for 1 second, and then it pauses for 1 second. This one waits 1 second, then activates for 1 second, and then pauses. So while this one is active, this one is waiting. While this one is active, this one is waiting. It's really that simple. So now I just need to add a cockpit so I can actually drive it. And let's spawn it. So now if I press W. Oh, yeah, okay. I know what I did wrong. Right now they're giving the exact same signal. This one is giving a positive signal. So if I want this one to be the second one, it needs to give the opposite signal as the first one. So that's what I forgot. As you can see, we have a very basic walk cycle. If I had arms on the side of my mech, I could add arms to this. Actually, let's just do it. Let's go a little bit higher. All right, so now we have 2 legs and 2 arms. And what we want to do, we can keep the 45-degree angle. We're going to remove this. We can keep the 45-degree, doesn't really matter. And we're gonna go with 0.3 here as well. But since hang on, this one has a positive value, so I want this to go the opposite direction. So it's gonna be minus 0.3 here, and it's gonna be minus on here as well. So we remove this, we're gonna go minus, and we're gonna leave everything as is. And now we're just gonna connect these to the new ones. And if I did it correctly, yeah, okay, they're alternating like this. Perfect. So it's just to show you that you can create a basic walk cycle and make all 4 limbs work together with only 2 logic gates. Now, of course, we can definitely go way more complex than that, but I did this because I wanted to show you there are 3 joints per legs on these 2 battle mechs. And I'm still making that function with only 2 logic gates. You see them right there. Those are the same 2 logic gates. It is the same circuit, the exact same logic. Everything is identical. The only difference is 1 logic gate activates all 3 joints at the same time. But each joint has a different angle, so that anyway, I'm going to show you here. I don't want to use this one just yet. I don't want to spoil anything. We're going to use this one. So now you can see how this works. So these are feet that I built myself using regular suspension and some traction pads, and I made it so that the heel was lower than the toes, so that the heel hits first, but then as the toes continue moving forward and hit the ground, now the foot is at an angle forward, so that helps it move forward actually. So this is how it's walking. You can see it right now, and this works really well. But then I started to play around with the new parts, and I want to show you guys this. All right, I didn't do anything to these feet. All I did was remove the other ones that I made and add these ones to it. And look at that. This is just plug and play. I don't even have to do anything to it. It's a little bit clunky. Like I could probably add some more suspension because there's some settings to these things as well. So yeah, okay, suspension, let's go 3, and traction is already at max. Gonna leave it there. Yeah, it's still a bit clunky, but I just wanted to show, like, this works straight out of the box. It's plug and play. And this is the other type. And we can add some in the back as well. Oh, this is way smoother. Yeah, look at that. Again, plug and play. No need to change anything. It just works. And I also want to show you something else with the new parts, which I think is cool. So obviously this is intended to be used as a mech head, right? And this is a mech cheek and a mech cheek and some ears. But you don't have to use any of these parts this way. You can do whatever you want here. Let's say here, for example, I can use this head, flip it like this. And then boom, I just created something that looks really cool. It doesn't look like a head anymore. And I could do this, or I could add it to the side here. Boom. So these new parts, they look really cool. They're super easy to use, and you can build some really cool mechs with these. Now we're gonna delete that, and we're gonna go ahead and build this one right here. And I want to show you guys something. And this is using the exact same technology I showed you earlier. 2 logic gates and some servos. That's it. Now let's get to building this thing. All right, let's build a mech. We're gonna start with the legs. I like to start with the legs. I like to make them functional, and then I'm going to build around that. I'm gonna start the same way I had started last time. Here. Boom. Like, keep in mind everything I put down right now is subject to be changed or removed as the build progresses. Now I'm looking for, yes, this part right here. I'm gonna put a block like this just to increase the thickness right here, and then right underneath that round part right here, I'm gonna add a weight block. This is something I learned by building my first few mechs. Is weight actually helps it, and it just so happens that these blocks right here, they add weight and they look like they belong there. It looks like a servo. It's not, it's a weight block, but it looks like a servo, so it's kind of perfect to have that there. Now this right here, yes, there are new servos that were added. There's this one right here, but in this case right now, this one does not help me. I'm sure this will have its uses, like, absolutely, but for me, this one doesn't help me. It's not my preferred choice. Also, there's this one right here, which you can obviously position however you like. In this case, it's not for me, because then I have to start under here, and I want to start on the side. So this one has an attachment point above and below. Again, not what I'm looking for, so I'm just gonna go with the OG of the servos, the one that we've had forever. Now from here, now we're gonna start building those legs. Yeah, I think I don't like this angle right now. This is too horizontal, so we're gonna make the angle a little bit more steep. All right, from here, I need to start the knee joint, if we can call it that. So we're still going to use that same servo. And this time, I'm going to flip it like that. Now, I want the leg to start to keep going from here. And then I'm going to do that and flip it. So this is also something I learned, is double joints are stronger, at least for this design. Now, obviously, I need a way to attach these, right? So the way I did it before is I used this to kind of create a thicker knee, which actually looks good. I like it. And then from here, I can just attach it using these, just like that. And then I'll double it. And there you go. Okay, so here, because I don't want anything to touch here and connect, what we're going to do is we're going to use one of these. So you see right now, it can't connect. There you go. So now we're about the same length right here. And now we're going to create the next joint, which is going to start from here going down like that. Here, like that. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So now we'll double it because there's a joint on the other side. And our foot is going to be somewhere in between here. The issue I have with the new feet is that they are an even number, 2 blocks wide. If I want to use these, I have to accept that they're not going to be perfectly centered. All right, so now we're just going to copy this. We'll see what we do with the foot later on, because I had done a custom one on my previous design, and this goes there. I think this is also going to need like a heel part. Now I'm thinking maybe we just go with something like this. Maybe we just make our own. We haven't tested it yet. We'll see how it works. We'll tune it better if that doesn't work. For now, I think this is going to be it. And then we can add some of these. Again, we can tune all of that better later. Yeah, I made this higher than this, but I think it needs to be the opposite. If I wanted to lean a little bit more forward instead of backwards. If I spawn it, look at that. It actually holds itself up without gyros. Now we're gonna put a seat on top just so we can start controlling it. To create the walk cycle, very simple. We've already seen it before in the beginning of this tutorial, so it's 2 logic blocks, right? So we go here. I like to use AND gates. You can use OR gates. You can use XOR gates for this. We're gonna put them here. I can't remember what angles I used before in the previous design, so we're gonna guess it, and this is gonna give you a pretty good idea of how to tune it. If I just give you all the right angles from the start and we don't have to actually work it out, I don't think this is helping you guys much, because your design is not going to use the same angles as my design. So we need to like work it. There's a lot of guesswork and trial and error when we tune this. So I think we're going to make the left leg push first, which means that the right leg is going to lift first. So what I want to do, and I don't want to go too big, because if the angles are too crazy, I'm just going to push myself up. Okay, I want it to go up, so I want it to go red. So because I want it to go red, I'm going to give it a negative speed here. So right now, positive speed is making it go down. I'm going to give it a negative speed, which is going to turn this arrow green. So, and I don't want the speed to be too fast. Maybe we can speed it up later on, but for the tuning part, I want it to go fairly slow. So I'm going to go minus 0.3. And then the angle, I don't want the angle to be too big. I just want it to lift a little bit. And then these are going to do more of the work. Let's say 15. We are probably going to change it later on. We're going to leave the strength and the damping as is for now, but as we tune it later on, this might also change. Something I should do right now. All of them, all the servos, we're going to remove the controls here. All right, so we have this, and that's an angle of 15. Now, for the first step on this one, I want it to go down. Green says up, so because this servo is inverted from this servo, I have to give it the same value. Since it's already inverted, if I leave things as is, then this one is also going to go up. I don't want it to go up right now. So I need to give it a negative value as well. Now the green is down, so this is what I want, and I had given it an angle of 15. Now if this one goes up, I also want this to tilt up a little bit. Now I have two opposing servos, so I'm gonna have to give them like opposing values. This one here, so this one, oh actually no, you know what, the up here, that was misleading for me. This obviously is going to make it rotate down, so I have to make it minus 0.3. The green arrow is going this way clockwise, so this is going to go up. So this means this one here, it's going counterclockwise. This is what we want. Now it's going to go up. So this is the one that stays positive. The other one went negative. So 0.3. And then here, I think I set it to 15. Yeah. And now all that's left is this one here. This is going to make the foot go like this. What's important, however, for this foot is the one that's pushing. I want it to rotate that way. And I want it to rotate quite a bit. So I think we're going to go more than 15 for this. Maybe 20. Yeah. Right now, I want it to follow the red arrow. As 0.3. All right, now we're going to assign this the W key because I want it to move forward as I press W. I'm going to give it an output of 100% or 1, which is the equivalent of 100%, just because I already gave it the speed that I want in here, and I want it to give 100% of the assigned values in my servos. And yeah, so now I just assign it all of these. And now we can spawn it. Press W. Now you see what happened. This is what I told it to do. It might not be enough. Maybe I need to give it bigger angles so that the heel doesn't... Well, the heel needs to lift off the ground. These two. Let's go 25. All I want is for the heel to not touch the ground. Obviously, the weight is making it tilt to the side. So we need this to prevent tilting. Okay, it lifts. So again, the gyro is just not strong enough. Maybe if I add more... Yeah, okay. You can see it now. We're lifting off the ground. That's what we wanted. This is good. Now we need to assign those same values to the other one. So we're giving it the same angles. Yeah, we'll assign this. This one activates step 1. This leg will push. This leg will pull. And then this one here will activate step 2. So with this one, I'm also assigning everything. Oops, hang on. But now this one here, if this one here is giving a positive value of 1.0, this one will give a negative value, which will tell all of these servos to just do the exact opposite that they just did. So we're going to go -1. Let's give them their duration, because right now this doesn't tell me enough info. I need to actually try to walk and see what happens. Okay, so this one does not have a delay because this one is the first step. So we're going to give it a duration of 1 and a pause of 1. And then this one here, because this is step 2, I want this one to wait until this one is done. So since this one has a duration of 1, then that means this one has to wait 1 second. So we're going to give it a delay of 1, and then the rest is all the same. All right. So obviously we need to tune this, because right now it's doing moonwalk. It's going backwards. So this here has to push more. So we're going to give this a bigger angle. So we're going to go all the way to 35, and we'll see what happens with this. Well, it's not going backwards anymore. Okay, something I did before to fix some of the issues was I added some suspension to these legs. Because that suspension dampens the upward movement. Yeah, this is something I forgot. I also need a gyro stabilizer that prevents turning. Ah, that's better. We're going forward now. I just forgot it's the gyro stabilizer that fixes problems. But yeah, this is definitely helping. Okay, so now what if I re-increase these here to push it a little bit further? So let's go 25. Let's see what happens. Well, we're going a little bit faster, but because the toes are pushing a little bit more against the ground now, it's twisting a little bit more. Okay, let's try now to increase this angle right here. Let's go 20. We're not gonna go too drastic. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, that's a little too wiggly now. Let's increase the damping. Let's go up to 3. Yeah, I think I like that better. It's more stable, but it's not as fast. It was faster with less damping. We can't waste too much time on this because obviously once we add all the extra weight after building the upper part, things are going to change. The values are going to change. So we're going to have to readjust later. Because of this, we're not going to waste more time on that. I'm wondering something now. Maybe I can use this here. So what if I delete this and this? Delete this, move this here, delete this. If I put this, yeah, I think it attaches to that, but it doesn't attach to this. But what I could do, instead of one like this, so we're gonna set it to have the same values. Obviously we don't want this, we don't want this, we want that to be, and I think that was 15. Is that it? No, it's 25. I have no idea if it's going to behave the same, because that's a 2x2, that's a 1x1. So when that turns, it's not going to have the same rotation as this, I don't think. But this could be cool because now the foot is centered. I need to add it. It's working. Huh. I like it. I like it. So we're gonna copy that to the other side. All right, now we need a way to turn. Yeah, I can turn. Okay, now we modify the look. Modify the look. We add the cabin, like the pilot seat, the weapons, all that stuff. We'll find places for these later on. Maybe we don't put that there just yet. Kind of like that. Okay, well, we do have the new corner pieces, right? Is that the one? Yeah. I'm wondering which weapon I want. Actually, this is too rounded. I'm trying to give it the look like it has some sort of a magazine, but it's, yeah, it's not easy. No, I can actually go all the way around. It doesn't hit. Oh, wow. Now it's twisting a lot. Okay, hang on. Let's see. This is worse. How is it worse? How is it worse? The recoil is too much. Definitely increasing the weight like that messed it up. It's better, but I really didn't think the added weight here was going to affect it that badly. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, okay, so the pause of 4 is a little bit too long, so we're gonna give it a pause of 2. This way it doesn't kick itself back on its butt. Okay, what if instead of these, maybe I can reduce the weight by changing the weapons. So this is 4 kilograms. This is 12. So right there, I've reduced the weight. It's several kilograms lighter. I need to figure out a way to keep these there. Can I add them to the sides here instead? Well, right now it's okay. Now here I can possibly add another weapon. I was thinking a rocket. I think that looks good. I think I want to add something there though. Yeah, it's just the walking's a little bit goofy, but other than that, I absolutely love it. So there you go. We have a no thruster, no gimbals walk cycles. It's just the legs. That's it. It uses gyros for stabilization and obviously for turning. So my good friend Mockhaven just made me notice that the seats have different skins now. And this is the armored seat with the new skin. We see way better. And right now I'm controlling this thing in first person. This is really cool. This is where I start the paint job. The only thing I'm not 100% happy about is the bobbing when it walks. But for what this is, with just 2 steps, like a 2-step walk cycle, I think this is as good as it gets. All right, before I go, I would like to say just a few things here, just to clarify a few things. So this robot, if I want to be able to walk, I have to keep the aiming servo locked, because if I unlock it, right now it's unlocked. If I unlock it and I try to walk, it behaves very weird. And I think it's because of all the extra weight that this added. If I was to remove some weight, I think that would fix that, but I wasn't willing to sacrifice the look. I just liked how it looked so much that I decided to keep it as is. Now, the reason why I think the weight is the reason is because this was like an earlier version of this. And as you can see, I can walk and turn without any issues. I can still walk straight. It doesn't affect anything. So I believe the added weight on the gun platform on that one is what's causing this issue. And just for fun, I wanted to show you guys, this was one of the earlier prototypes. While I was working on it, trying to figure out a design for the legs, this was one of the first designs I came up with. And as you can see, it's not as clean. It's not like as good. And then just for fun, I'll show you. The reason I didn't pull it out already is because it can't sit in one spot. It moves backwards by itself. But this is the very first prototype I made while working on a leg design. I wanted to just that was a warm-up basically. But yes, this was the very first leg design I made. I'm just showing you guys this because when you work on your first mech, if you don't get it right the first time, don't worry about it. Just keep trying new designs, keep trying new things. Eventually you'll get to a mech that you absolutely love. I personally am super happy with how this one turned out, and I know it's not perfect, but honestly, I don't really care. I'm super happy with it. And here's a Mech Warrior. That's an unfinished one. It's not a polished one. This is the skeleton version of it, just so we can see the logic and we can see all the internal workings of it. But this is one that the devs have made, and this one will be made available along with many others as for people who buy the DLC. I also wanted to show it because look at how clean that walk cycle is. It is way better than mine. I'm not afraid to admit that, but it's also way more complex. All of these logic blocks, they all do something related to the walk cycle. It's only 4 servos, I think, but there's a total of 8 logic blocks, and if we look at them, like this one is only connected to the servo. This one has an output of minus 0.3, and this one has an output of 0.6. And then the delays are also different. And then here, this one has an output of 1, and this one connects to these two and this one. And then this one here has a different delay than the duration and the pause. So at first glance, even I don't understand how this logic circuit works. Could I possibly make a logic circuit as complex as this? Yes, probably. But I would be creating it from scratch, one step at a time, to get there. I can't just look at someone else's circuit and just understand how it works. I would have to spend a lot of time to try and reverse engineer this. That would be something for a completely different tutorial. I just wanted to showcase the robot, and just so you know, there's a full folder of them right here. All of these are going to be made available to people who purchase the DLC. Also, yes, I'm a little bit sad that my mech doesn't have these cool swords. I just think that, you know, there's so many different ways to build a mech, and the design that I chose, the style of mech that I chose, doesn't really use melee weapons. But the last thing I want to add is, from here, I could definitely add a jump ability to my mech. I could add a leap ability to my mech. I could add a jetpack. I could add the ability to hover. I could give it energy shields. I could, like, the possibilities are absolutely endless. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here, but please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Even though this video will be posted on the dev's official YouTube channel, I will go and read your comments, and I will try to answer your questions, but I'd also love to get your feedback as well. Also, if you guys end up building your first mech after watching this, I would love to hear about it, and you can always feel free to join my Discord and share pictures or videos of your mechs there too. Also, don't forget to check out my channel for more Trailmakers content. On that, take care, guys. Bye for now.